Hello and welcome again into another video. And today's video we'll talk about the top 10 void legendaries in the entire game, because like they've been adding so many void legendaries and I always ask myself what could be the best. So I was like, okay, if we're taking in concern like PvP and PvE, clan boss, chimera, all of these factors together, what would be our best 10 champions in the entire game? So before we head into the video, I need to make a quick shout outs, and the first one is going to two champions actually. Cardiel being one of the best, used to be the best void legendary in the entire game PvE wise, because he has a speed aura, he has an ally attack with increased crit rate, increased crit damage. He also has revive on death, cleanse on a 3-turn, which used to be extremely rare, not as rare as it used to be now, and a big heal on his A1, and I don't know what his passive does. Basically, he will join the attack. Really quick, guys, get yourself a free legendary Narma by clicking the link in my description. You will also get 3 amazing epics: Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. All you need to do is, number 1, log out of Play and Play on your PC and uninstall it. Number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Number 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Number 4, go to your inbox and claim the champion. So don't miss out on the great chance to get Narma and 3 very strong epics. So make sure to click my link before it expires. The second shout out is going to Noelle, being my favorite void legendary in PvP, because she is such a beast there. I actually made a guide about her. Like this champion is just criminally underrated. She is insane. She's so freaking good. So the thing about her is like she doesn't do everything so good, but she does everything. Like she does revive, she does have sort of a cleanse, she has increased speed, she has AoE revive, she has a CC, she has block debuff, she has a speed aura, and then she has a great passive that does so many things. Like it slows the opponent if they have a freeze. If you have sheep, it will remove the sheep and put you kind of a small increase of speed into the kit. So those are like kind of like a shout outs that I wanted to make. Now moving into the number 9 champion, it's actually a free champion, one of the champions that people can go as creative as they could into making this champion works everywhere. I'm talking about Lemasu. Why Lemasu is so freaking good? Well, technically her A3 makes it so freaking good. So in PvP, if you have a fast gear for her, you can just make her the fastest in your team, and you can just use this ability where she will cleanse and fill the turn meter of a target ally by 50%. So you can use her as like a poor man's Shuzan, except that she's not poor. She's actually so freaking good. She has a speed aura in all battles by 24, which is something that you only see in mythical champions. She has a block debuff and decreases speed, so that makes her one of the best block debuff champions in Hydra and even in Chimera. Also, she has a decreased attack at a very high chance. We're talking about 70% on an AoE A1. You actually don't see this elsewhere. Her passive, this champion is immune to sheep. I don't know what this one does. Each debuff placed by this champion decreases the target turn meter by 5%. Oh, I see. And yeah, that's number 10 champion in the game. Okay, let's move into number 9. Number 9 is actually not just one champion. I actually used to say that there is 2 number 9 champions. The first number 9 being Sacred Order, and I'm talking about Venus, because she's just so versatile in clan bosses specifically. She provides decreased defense and weaken and poison and HP burn, and if you put her with the Cupidus, she makes Cupidus so freaking good. But the champion I'm talking about here today is actually a high elf, and it's actually Lydia. And I used to say that Lydia and Venus is as good. It's just a personal preference. No, it's the other elves. It's the dark elves. But the thing about Lydia is Chimera. Since Chimera dropped, that made Lydia just become way better than she used to be. She used to be so freaking good. Now she is even better, because everything about her kit is just so freaking good against Chimera. She has True Fear for Ram. She has block debuff for all the forms, because she can block debuff so the boss will not have increased speed. She has block active skill for Viper. She has poison sensitivity for Viper. She has decreased defense and weaken, so you can do more damage. Also, she put increased speed and strengthening, making her number 9 in our rank today. Number 7 is going to be like shared between 2 champions, and the first, number 8, is I'm going to give it to Yumiko. Yumiko being one of the best lockout champions because of this ability. It's a 4-turn cooldown, which she decreases everyone's in her team's cooldown by 3 turns, and everyone in the other side, which is the enemy, it will increase their cooldown by 3 turns. This ability is so freaking good. Plus, it will not decrease the cooldown of this champion's skill, but this skill can have its cooldown reduced, which means if you have stuff like Reflex Merciless, it will proc. If you have two Yumikos, they reset each other. So if you have Lamasu and Yumiko, Lamasu will be able to reset Yumiko. Other champions that reset cooldown, you can't do that to them. So Yumiko being one of the best champions for world record in Chimera and in Hydra, also being a top PvP champion, also being one of the champions that people used to use to decrease cooldown and stuff like Spider and Fire Knight, but people now can just brutal force throughout the entire content. The second number 8 is actually Warlord. Where are you? So the thing about Warlord is like Warlord is better in live arena, she is better in classic arena. Okay, both are kind of scuffed in live arena because, you know, people now just use mythicals and lockout doesn't work in mythicals. So the thing that Warlord does better, he has a block debuff and the gigantic shield and a big heal as well, making him slightly better than Yumiko in live arena, but both are kind of scuffed in live arena to use. Number 6 is actually going to be shared between two champions. First, number 6 is actually a champion that I don't have, which is King Nazis. King Nazis was the champion that Plarium introduced to the game to balance Harima, Taras, UDK, and Rotos when they dominated live arena because of his second ability. Attack all enemies, ignore 25% of the target defense, place an extra hit on enemies under shield, and strengthen. And Marichka Taras, there is always going to be shield. Strengthen, anyone that has a strengthen, he will be able to inflict 2 hits. And if Queen Ancora with him, when he uses his ability, this ability, and kills someone, he's going to block revive and take another turn, making him one of the hardest hitting champions in the entire game. Look at this. Arena 5, Faction 5. There is no low rank, especially in, I mean, it's just a clan boss, and he is not a clan boss champion. So that's number 1. The other number 6 is actually Taras. Why Taras is so freaking good? Well, Taras used to be the hardest hitting champion in the entire game that also doesn't die because he's just so tanky. If you look at his stats, we're talking about 22.3 thousand HP, and there is almost 1400 defense, which is close to what defense Nukas usually have, right? And then he has such a weird passive where if you hit him, he's going to decrease his max HP, but he's not going to lose any damage. So he's hard to kill as well. He hits hard, and then there is his multipliers that increase his damage. He's this champion. Damage increased by 15% for each buffs on him. Well, if you have 10 buffs, you're going to increase his damage by 150%, which is actually doable. So people also started using him in Hydra because it's easy to get 10 buffs in Hydra. But like whenever he used this ability on 4 decapitated hits, he would hit for like 20 to 30 million damage. Numbers you would only see from Toshiro. Now, then he dropped after people started using King Nazis, but now he is back into the classic arena meta again, and he is actually one of the best in classic arena as well. Okay, number 6 is going to be 2 champions as well because they kind of do a similar job, which is basically being an anti-stone skin champion. The first number 6 is going to be Georgette the Breaker, which is basically ignore stone skin, protection, unkillable, block damage, increase defense and ally protection and shield. But people started using him slightly less because he's just very glass cannon. Even if he has a stone skin and you hit him, you would be able to kill him because he just doesn't have any stats to survive, right? And the other champion I'm talking about here is just kind of similar but has less stuff, to be honest, which is basically Ieyasu, except that his kit works in an updated way where like he ignores the stone skin here, and then his A1, if he kills someone, it grants an extra turn, and he has a cannon of an A1. Attack one enemy 2 times, then place an extra hit, the target has a buff, which means he's a great go second team. Then place 2 extra hits if the target is from the under, if it's Sifi. So his A1 always kill a Sifi, and then he splashes the damage from his passive. Like, look at his passive. Whenever this champion attacks, that's supposed to be a period. All enemies except the initial target receives damage equal 25%, and this damage is actually pure. The extra damage will ignore 100. Yeah, it's a pure damage. So whenever he hits, he splashes 25% of the damage. He does almost as much Toshiro would do to Hydra if you have him 6-star awakened, okay? Now, moving into number 6, which actually is Leonardo, a recently added champion to the game. Why Leonardo is good? Because he's a champion that everyone needs. He is a champion that self-buff himself, self-protect himself from 2 abilities. Usually, like, you want Nukats to buff themselves, right? To be self-buffed. Like, if an increase attack, they put increased attack on themselves. If they are defense, you want a champion to put increased defense. It's extremely rare to see that. And then Leonardo came out, and then he put increased defense on himself and counter attack. He has a smack of an A1. and he has a smack cannon of an A3. And then he puts stone skin on himself, and there is no cooldown on that ability, which makes him one of the greatest nukers in the entire game. Not to mention that he's also a defense-based champion with 1620 defense. That's just insane, okay? If I want to tell you why this champion is so good, I need to talk to you about him in a separate video. He's just insane. The insane part about him is that people now in Siege use 3 Leonardo. There is a Siege stage where you only use Shadowkin. So people use a Yumiko and 3 Leonardos. People use Arbase with 3 Leonardos. Stuff like this, which makes him like so freaking good of a champion. You can't beat that stage unless you have 3 Leonardos as well. So that's the only way. He's so freaking good, and I do love this guy. Number 4 champion. I think, yeah, she's one of the recently added champions in the game, and she arguably can be number 1. So anything from now is an arguably number 1 champion, and the champion I'm talking about here is Neve. Nyamhe, as someone would call her. She's Neve. Why she's so freaking good? When she came out, people were like, oh, this is a poor man's Marichka, except that she is actually better than Marichka, because Marichka's cooldown block damage has a 3-turn, I think, cooldown. This champion doesn't have cooldown on her passive, and there is a relic you can put on her, which is golden elixir, where, like, you know, whenever, because the way her passive works, at the start of the game, she will put block damage, and then you build her in 9 pieces of protection, so the block damage will be protected, right? And then there's another thing. When she gets below 50, she put block damage again. So what you do is you put on her golden elixir. So when she drops below 50, the golden elixir will heal her above 50. So when you drop her again, she will put block damage. So if this champion, one day we will see people having a +4 of her fully awakened. When we get to that stage, she will almost become unkillable. Yeah, that's how insane this champion is. Don't get me wrong, she has good abilities here, and this ability right here is smacks and has a gigantic shield. I've seen literally a gigantic shield, like literally equal to 90% of her health, like this shield right here. Next, on top, I think this champion is actually number 1 Void legendary in the game, but now with everyone is running Wand in live arena, he is no longer, I do believe, number 1, but he could be number 1, and the champion I'm talking about here is Odin. Why is Odin so freaking good? Well, many reasons. Number 1, his A2 decreases defense and stun, okay? His A3, he will deal pure damage whenever, it doesn't matter who he used this on, he will just kill, doesn't matter. You just need to build him a crit cap with some sort of crit damage, as long as they don't have stone skin, blah blah blah, I don't know, stone skin block damage, he will be able to kill them. Also, you could use him in Hydra as a champion with decreased defense and enemy max HP hit. He has the best aura in Arena, which is 40% for voided champions only. Yes, but you could build a team with voided champions. Also, his A1 give Berserk to whoever he hits, which is basically a weaken that works both sides. It will make you do more damage and take more damage. Next champion here is arguably any of those, like Neve, Odin, and the next champion here, which is I have Shuzen, could be number 1. Why Shuzen is so good? Shuzen is one of 3 legendaries that are still fighting in a meta dominated by mythicals, which is basically literally because of this ability, which she decides whoever takes the next turn after her. So if you build her fast, I know like some people have their Shuzen with like around 520 speed. So what does she do is she can just speed boost your team, decrease the opponent's turn meter, put increase speed on you, decrease speed on them, and then you switch this ability and then you give them another turn. So with a cube, do you know like the Chronic Cube relic, which gives you 2 turn? If you put it on her as an example, she will boost her meter and then she decides whoever can take this turn. But I know that people use like Hallowed Held, like all of these ones, or like a Crown of Corruption, the stuff that just give her more speed. So you just need to build her fast. The next champion on the list is actually Marichka. Why is Marichka so good? Well, she is the most annoying legendary in the entire game. She has almost 22,000 HP. She has the biggest shield in the entire game. She has the biggest heal in the entire game. She cleanse and then she boosts her meter, and if she remove enough buffs, she will get another turn, and then she increase everyone's resistance, and she has a passive with 2 passives with the 3 passives. She's an anti-poison, she's an anti-bomb, she's an anti-HP burn, and she revives everyone with this crazy passive. And this passive here has no cooldown. This passive here has cooldown though, which make her like by far the best Void legendary in the entire game. Is that it? I feel like I'm missing a champion. Yes, I am missing a champion, and this champion is a lizard. No, he's not lizard. You guys thought I'm gonna say Krisk? No, right? Yeah? No, it's actually not lizard. It's an Ogren tribe. It's actually Diamond Coop. No, it's actually not Diamond Cooper. Well, a deserved shout out to Glazag. I would put him in the same spot as Lydia, which is number 8. Except that he's slightly better than Lydia, but also he makes you, like, for you to make this guy work, you're gonna need something like Galathir. You need Galathir if you want to make this champion work as intended, because you need a block active skill champion, and the only one that can provide revive and block active skill is sadly Galathir. So if you want to make this guy works instead of your Lydia, you have to have Galathir. Otherwise, Lydia is just better for Chimera. The champion I'm talking about is Marius. Marius is technically not a legendary or a void. He is just the best champion in the entire game. Period. It doesn't matter what content you use him in, he's just the best. It doesn't matter PvE, PvP, dungeon, whichever dungeon. Like, I thought he's bad in Fire Knight, and then I saw him being used in one of the best Fire Knight speed farm teams in the world, which is like you can take down the boss in like 20 to 25 seconds. I mean, I know some people did it in 15 seconds. Those people, we don't talk about them. But yeah, Marius the Gallant is the best champion in the entire game, and solely for his A2 here, which is attack all enemies 3 times. The damage is defense and enemy max HP. Each hit decreases the duration of all enemies buffs by 1 turn, and then you have his passive, which makes this champion immune into turn meter reduction and also immune to decrease the speed. And it is his A1, which is like a smack, and A1 that puts in feeble, which makes people weak hit. Doesn't matter what their affinity is against whichever affinity. There is a champion I don't want to miss out. I don't want to get cancelled, and that champion is a banner lord. His name is Titus. This guy has changed the clan boss meta like nobody else before. He just came in and then he became the best champion for a clan boss to a demon lord, the best nuker in Hydra and the best nuker in Chimera, and he made Chimera accessible for everyone. He's a void legendary, and literally only for one ability, which is this one, attack one enemy. This attack is always critical, so you don't need to build him a crit cap. Remove all debuffs from all allies. I actually don't know about this kid. That's how insane he is. I only know about this part. I'm literally surprised by this one. Remove all debuffs from all allies if the target is killed. The target survives, place provoke on all enemies for 1 turn. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under shield. He's just insane. All you need to do to make him works as intended, put him in a shield. And I have him in a kind of like a fast build because I need him to be fast for Chimera. Like, look at this build. Have you ever seen a legendary nuker without crit cap? That's how insane he is. You just need to get those cooldowns decreased. By the way, I can make this build stronger, but this is for a specific tune in. Okay, so yeah, that's another crazy good champion. So that's as far as the top void legendaries in the entire game. If you guys want to see a video about ranking all mythicals, let me know in the comment section below and I will be glad to do it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.